Top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's High Top Sports, baby. Let's get it, let's go.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to, of course, here at High Top Sports. We got an absolute banger in store, so be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Happy to have you here on our live morning shows. I think we're like 19, 20 days of being live in a row, and I got to tell you, we're enjoying every minute of it. I hope you guys are too, so make sure you guys sit back, relax, and have yourself some fun. Got a lot to go over here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It's the best day of the week. We'll have a show later on tonight previewing this Mississippi State game. Then tomorrow we'll do a call-in show, which I think is going to be very warranted given the news we're going to go over today for Florida fans. That we talked about it on Monday. We kind of, I would say, hinted towards it a little bit. And then now more sources have come out to confirm that it feels like Sunday could be the last day for Billy Napier. We'll talk about that here shortly. Jerrick Gibson, running back for Texas, was released from Texas. I mean, this is now becoming a trend. So we gave Hugh Freeze some crap, but now it appears to be a thing that's going to happen across the board. We'll get into it. Heisman talk, the Big 12 taking shots. Playoffs, we're going to have a show, and we're going to have some fun. Without further ado, Cody the Prof. Big dog, how you feeling? Also, shout out to everybody. You guys really enjoyed the intro. I really appreciate the feedback from that. That was really cool to see you guys like it, because we put a lot of effort into these things, and, you know, we're excited about it. You never know how everyone else is going to react, so you guys enjoyed it, and that was cool to see. Cody hates it, but you guys like it, and that's all that matters. So, what's up, big dog?
Oh yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much that I said I liked it.
How you feeling, big guy?
Yeah, feeling good, man. A little tired today, a little groggy, but
Sure.
you know, I don't know if I'm messing up. I'm coming home, getting about like an hour and a half, popping back up. So might need to change the schedule around.
Yeah, you probably get a little bit of a rinse sleep, you know, and then you're trying to shake your body out of it, and not always usually the best. That's for sure. But
yeah, that's okay. I got a little beam dream to help me out this afternoon.
There you go. We're gonna talk about the Hoop Shiz tweet. It's hard to really put any stock into that, but we'll talk about it because it's fun. And look, the reason why we will talk about it is because we'll get into it. That's all you need to know. We'll get into the Hoop Shiz. Let's start with Jerrick Gibson, though. All right, running back for Texas, who we've talked about here on this show. This was a massive Florida target. At one point during his recruiting cycle was the number one number one running back in the country that was available early on in his recruiting career. I think that kind of dwindled as the year went on, which is it is what it is. But ultimately, the kid was a baller. And was from Gainesville, visited Florida a ton, and we knew early on that his recruitment heavily evolved around NIL, and ultimately ended up going to Texas. And even with the stout room that they have with the Cedric Baxter or the CJ Baxters, one of the two, and all the other guys they had, he goes to Texas. And we talked about it the other day because they've been having issues, obviously, with the healthiness of their running back room. I go, how we have not seen Jerrick Gibson? This guy's a 5-star running back. You would expect to see him. I mean, especially given the situation they were going through. And now, as of yesterday, has been released from the team. So he's no longer with the program. He'll be entering into the portal. And, it's crazy to see this happening. Is this going to become a norm, Cody? Is this becoming a new trend, you think?
I'm not sure. I know he was banged up earlier in the season, and they're banged up at running back again. I mean, they have the worst. They go out and get a bunch of premium guys, but they have the worst luck with the injury bug in that running back room. It's been about they lost both their running backs last year and spring camp to knee and something else. So tough little ride for them in the running backs, but it's like, you know, I'm not sure, man. Like, and I know you could circle back and he could come back home to Gainesville. There's a lot of Florida schools that he could reach out to. Florida State, Miami, obviously us, or maybe a little bit lesser program. I don't know what his value is, though, and what he's going to ask in NIL. Maybe he got some NIL, and now he's realizing, it's not all that what it's cracked up to be. I mean, I'm sure he got compensated well, but it's one of those things where you have to ask: is he, why did he get released?
So this is saying
A
he's
locker
left.
room
This
problem?
article says he's left the program, which both are very. I mean, the wording of this is very important, right? And that's what I wanted to figure out because
If he left the program, that feels homesickish to me.
I look, I think it goes back to, and I said it yesterday, and I feel like I'm circling the wagon here of maybe I was right because he's not playing and he's a sophomore. And this is what I said the other day is like, this kid's a sophomore, 5-star guy, not getting a lot of playing time, right? Not with the injuries. Like this is you're looking over at Florida with a 3-star guy in Jaden Ball who's become the lead back, right? Within a year on his performance. And maybe he didn't live up to the expectations. I don't know, right? That there's certain things we don't see, but obviously hasn't seen the field a lot. And so it looks like it says that he chose to leave. And this goes back to me defending Hugh Freeze yesterday, that he dismissed him. And now how he went about it, you could argue a little bit different, but he dismissed his running back as well, who the senior who wanted to redshirt so he could go elsewhere and save his career. Jerrick Gibson is now seen to be doing the same thing. And because of the situation at Texas, it's not being looked at the same way as the Hugh Freeze situation was, which is exactly what I said yesterday. So because Hugh isn't winning. Go ahead.
How many games is a red shirt again? I can't remember. 4?
Has he played in 4?
Played in 4.
Well, I think that's the minimum.
Okay.
So he's still
would get
technically,
that.
I believe, like once you play over the 4th one, I think then you're done.
So he had 78 carries, 377 yards, 4.8 average, 4 touchdowns with 25 long. He also had 25 yards with 3 attempts receiving last year. So this feels to me he's had 37 attempts, 157 yards, 4.1 average, 1 touchdown. This seems to me that he has obviously regressed maybe a little bit.
Again, it's just it feels like a case of I'm not getting what I want, I'm out of here, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of at all. So again, people are like, "Oh, come back home." It's like, do you want that? Do you want a guy that quit on his team because it wasn't going well? Now, could we see this happen here in the next couple of weeks with Florida, given the situations that may go on? Possibly. I give maybe a little bit more leeway with, if you do lose your coach halfway through the season, I think there's, your situation has changed, but if you committed to something in the beginning of the season, you got to stick to that personally, is my thought process.
I don't think he's a take for Florida, and this is why. Number one, they're kind of in a pickle right now with the coaching situation. Unless he just wants to be a Florida Gator and just wants to literally come back to Gainesville.
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't care.
We haven't heard any of that, just so you guys are aware.
We haven't heard anything like that. But there's enough schools in Florida where he could go and be a guy and probably get starting reps right away. And on top of that, it's not all that far. I mean, once you get into the state of Florida, I mean, FSU's 5 hours away from Gainesville. Like, everything becomes drivable for the family. People don't realize how far Texas is. I mean, that you're talking, 10, 12-hour drive to Austin.
Yeah,
from Gainesville. It's a haul.
I mean, it's not 1995 anymore, Cody. I'm sure they're all getting private jets, but I hear you. Look,
We don't know. Maybe he has family members that can't fly because of medical
Sure,
issues. He's just
sure.
trying to get back home. Maybe he's extremely homesick. You gotta understand, these kids are 18, 19 years old. Not everybody's built to pack up, leave everything that they have ever known.
You've gotten soft.
What do you mean I'm gotten soft?
You're just like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking about? That everybody's built to go across the country and play football for somebody else, and maybe just what are we doing, bro? The man got paid millions. You chose to go over there. You've been there for a year and a half. Get out of here. He wasn't playing. He's throwing a fit. He's taking his ball and going home. Ain't nothing to do with homesick.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay, maybe he's homesick.
Come on, man.
I don't know the cat.
Wake up.
You know what though? If he, hey, if he ends up at Gainesville, I guarantee we'll be hitting the button when he scores touchdowns.
I mean, yeah, look, we support people who
We
rock the
got
orange and blue.
yeah,
But right now, he's not orange and blue. I
we'll
think for
magically
me,
forget that he quit on his team
what I'm
midseason.
more intrigued by is him being cut. I have questions of like what is the reasoning for this? Like in years past, where they would maybe just let him redshirt and then dismiss him from the team or say, hey, you need to hit the portal. Cutting him in the middle of the season, just like where's the thought of that? Is there an NIL play here where if you're choosing to redshirt, we're going to release you because we're not going to fulfill our bargain? Like that's what I'm more interested in. Of like
a little bit of that.
I've never seen this happen before. It feels like actual in the NFL of like, hey, we're just going to release you from the team and you're going to go into the portal. I just it doesn't make any sense to me that like, because the whole point of having the red shirt is so they're protected, right? They can redshirt and protect themselves and stay part of the team. Now, at the end of the year, if they're like, hey, your roster spot's not going to be available, sure. But and now, again, if he just says, hey, I don't want to be here anymore, release me, that also seems very strange. What if people just start coming in like, hey, I want to dip? Like, I thought there was legal bindings to keep you locked into those things. So I feel like because of the coaching saga going on, like we're not asking enough questions surrounding this, and maybe I can do some digging to figure out like if there is any like true smoke here or thoughts.
Usually this comes with some trouble, like a headline that he beat up a girlfriend. Correct. Or you know what I mean? I mean, obviously kids are asking to redshirt. Usually you wouldn't want that, but maybe they're saying, hey, I can go make more money somewhere else, be the guy, and I'm not going to burn this year. These years are valuable. And so maybe he has to redshirt, and Texas is like, oh, we're down running backs. You want to ask to redshirt? Okay, then you don't want to be here anymore. You don't want to be a part of the team. I could see that. I could see a lot of teams being that way and setting the example. It's kind of odd that it's two running backs back to back.
Yeah,
that have gotten cut from a team. One was a senior. That felt maybe a little bit different, but Jerrick Gibson's still very young. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, and this is a good point too. GMAX says they're desperate for running backs. I will say they're thin at running backs to cut a once 5-star guy in the middle of the season when you haven't been the healthiest in that position.
Somebody off,
huh?
Must have pissed somebody off. Maybe
yeah,
he didn't. Maybe he didn't listen to Matthew McConaughey's new book or something. I don't know.
Poor Cody. Cody's fine. Everyone thinks that Cody just gets like abuse here. It's good for him. You don't see Cody coming meat, guys. Okay, gives me flack too. All right, let's get into the saga here, boys. The Napier. Instead of homecoming weekend, could it be going away weekend? We alluded to this on Sunday a bit, or excuse me, Monday with Stephen Harris as that presser felt like it was a goodbye presser. We were hearing rumblings in our Discord that Sunday is D-Day, regardless of the outcome on Saturday. And now it seems like the big media, if you will, is starting to get behind that. Let's start with the Pate one. And then we'll get into Graham Hall, and then we'll get into some, obviously Twitter and people that are connected and have their own sources. They're making, funny posts. I did some of my, reaching out to ask, and there was like, yeah, this is what it sounds like. It feels very recruit-like, hey, are we getting this cat? And everyone's like, yeah. And then it comes to National Signing Day, and we may or may not get him. So it feels weird. Like it feels like literally like a going away, like a retirement party. I've never seen this happen before where like everyone knows this is his last day. And maybe this is kind of, but in the same breath, because we know of the relationship, and we've heard so many good like things about like how people love Napier. Like, we're not gonna blindside this guy. We trust this guy, where we're gonna just inform him like, hey, dude, like this is it. I want you to just go out there and, it feels weird. We've never seen it, but now when you kind of the James Franklin situation, when you see how he acted after the Northwestern game, it's almost like he knew it was coming too. So maybe there is that how nothing ever stays under wraps, it feels like for Florida, is crazy. Like this seems like something that probably should have been kept behind closed doors, if we're being honest. Is it the new world that we're in? A little bit of that, yes. But also I feel like Florida stuff gets out much faster and just spreads like wildfire. And is there a part where maybe there is people that are involved that want it to get out? I do believe that too. It's the political part of it that's always intrigued me. But Josh Pate was the first to I think that kind of set the tone of big media being comfortable with saying, yeah, I think it's over. And he said, he was like, look, I love Napier. I hate to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But it feels like that his time in Florida has come to an end. And it feels like it'll be probably by the end of this week. And I'm going to sidebar here for just a minute because Napier, or Pay, in my opinion, is obviously we're a fourth, show. So we show our colors. Pay, as I would put into a category of, middle ground, although that I know that he's not, because he even says during this segment, he goes, I play favorites, which is fine. But I wonder, because obviously if you go look at his playoff list prior to what it is now, and I think college football just has so much parity in it. But how much of him picking Florida and talking about Florida the way that he did was just because he liked Napier and not actually what he believed? I wondered that. I mean, we here at our show, we kind of fall into that trap a little bit too, because obviously of our fandom. But when he was talking about it, I'm like, dude, like, if you're hearing he's being fired, like, we got to have a little more, I would say, juice behind it. But I just thought that was interesting. What are your thoughts, though, on Napier and then Graham Hall? Kind of everyone's coming out saying, hey, this could be the end.
What are we waiting on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Waiting on the bye week? Like, what are we waiting on? What more we need to see? I think that's worse, dude. I think that's worse for the players because they're hearing it.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Like, hey, you got, but look,
like
so it happened with Zook. Like Zook, like again, and we all called this guy Zook. Like they knew it was his last game, and I think that's part of why. Right, is the locker room buy-in is so strong. They're like, look, dude, like this team loves you. I think we can all understand that it's not going where it needs to go. So we're gonna let you, kind of go out your way. It's gonna, and I also feel like we could be getting bamboozled of, maybe like, hey, let's just not let them get booed. I don't know. It's a very, it is very interesting. It is very interesting to kind of escort him out on his last day.
I actually saw somewhere where they possibly said, why don't we just fire him but keep him for the rest of the season? We're already going to pay him. And at that point, it's like, I mean, are you really helping your players out any more than what you are with just ripping the Band-Aid off? Like, I know he has buy-in and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily know if I want a guy that's already been fired around my program.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well just let Russ start calling plays. Ron Roberts can be the interim or whoever. I mean, interim doesn't matter. But, the strength and conditioning coach could be the interim.
Look, I don't mind him coaching. I like handing the reins off during the bye week. You give that person 2 weeks essentially. And so I don't mind it. Like, hey, like, let's try to preserve the season as much as we can. Like think about it. If Florida makes the change and they can go win out and do something special here, and I think that you're kind of, the focus is like, hey, how do we do this thing as smooth as possible? And I'm one. Okay, look, we're all playing hypothetical here, but guys, I've been reading this incredible book, and it's called Hail Mary. I'm telling you, boys, it's the greatest book of all time. But the guy's a scientist and he's got a buddy who's an engineer. And they're constantly problem solving and have theories and thoughts of like how things should go. And that's kind of like, I feel like with us on this show, sometimes we have a lot of theories. We don't get to test it. We kind of have to wait and see if our theories are true or not. And that's what obviously they're more of takes than theories because we can't test them. But my theory is that they're looking at the situation of like this team loves Napier and we want to do the right thing by everybody involved as best as we possibly can. And hey, Nape, this isn't going to work, but these guys love you. Let's send you out the right way. Go win one more and throw back uniforms. Go march out there. It's not going to be an ugly breakup. It's more of a mutual breakup. You got to see this just as a knit. You're not ready for that. Like, I'm guessing. I don't know. But that's just kind of how it feels at this point.
Dom makes a great point, just trying to get past homecoming. There's a lot of events and stuff like that around homecoming. I could see that, too. Maybe just don't want to rip the Band-Aid off homecoming weekend.
And at the spot on, I think that's something I should mention as well too. Is that yes, there's a lot of events. It's a happy time. Parents come home. It's supposed to feel good. And you don't, I mean, even though this is hanging over you, it's not official yet. And so you can kind of still go through your emotions of having this kumbaya moments and having fun without the negativity that's surrounding it. And look, some of you are like, negativity, we want Napier gone. I hear you. But keep in mind, there's people that are close to this program that genuinely love Napier and are not going to be happy to see him go. Like, this is going to be a big ruffle. We're going to have a hell of an offseason talking about all the moves and changes. I mean, you got to think, I mean, it's going to go all the way down to, I would imagine, affecting Katie and Bree and all these people. Like, we are going to see a complete overhaul of this team once again. And when I say team, I'm not just talking about the team on the field, I'm talking about the team off the field as well. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch unfold and how this thing all shakes up. But it's just a very strange situation. And in my time here at Florida, being a Florida fan, I just can't recall it being like this. Like, we all knew it was coming for all the coaches, but it always felt abrupt. It personally. Now, I wasn't as closely as
Definitely
invested.
Mullen.
No,
Definitely Mullen.
Yes and no. Yes, like, we knew it was coming, but yeah, it definitely felt like it was like, okay, like it just happened. I felt like, but
yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game, though. And you know, maybe they'll go win one more for the Augusta. You know, maybe they'll go out and they'll score a bunch of points against Mississippi State, and it'll be like, you know, Billy Napier can ride off into the sunset homecoming weekend, and then we can get on with this ordeal. It does feel like something that has been so locked down and so, you know, watertight is starting to spring leaks. With coaching with coaching searches already starting to go on, our evaluations and stuff like that. You know, it's pretty locked down, lock solid. We didn't hear much about, you know, him actually, the deal actually happening. And it feels like now it's going to happen regardless of what happens Sunday.
There was
Saturday.
a weird, and look, I don't think the decision was made after the A&M game. I think that it was, I think that
sat
it was,
on.
Yeah, I think it was like in motion, and
All
then
over.
we kept hearing with 5. Like I said, I didn't feel that it was a true number. It just didn't feel right, and I thought, again, to me, it was have to win out. And again, how you lost the A&M game, I think was huge. But I think even the Texas win, it didn't feel, again, the way that game closed. It was just like, look, the same stuff's happening. Even when we win, it wasn't right, and I think that the motions were already put into place from that point on, and there was a weird radio silence that we had for like over a week about the situation. There was. And then after the A&M game is where I think the heat really amped up. And we even talked about it on Sunday with Allie. She still felt that it was 5. There were still conversations that, yeah, the number was still 5. And then 24 hours later, it was like, no, it's Sunday.
It's now.
So
it's Sunday.
Yeah. Regardless of the, no, again, I keep in mind, like, there's a weird feeling to me that, like, we could be like a recruitment where it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen at all. But the fact of it is of how everybody, like the Graham Hall article, his article was very intriguing to me. Like, these guys don't come out here and just write this for nothing if they don't feel that it's.
That's what I'm saying. We like in the last 24 hours, there's definitely been a couple articles dropped. It just feels like we're closer than ever.
Correct.
Feels like we weren't that close, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden overnight, like some leaks started to spring leaks in the hull of the ship.
So there's an account on Twitter, which we always joke with. It's called Hoop Shiz. So there's two Twitter accounts. Just so you guys, if you're new here,
back?
He's back. Yeah, Hoop Shiz and Blue Orange Gator. These guys are like, they're behind an avatar. The way they tweet, they're very aggressive in their tweets. But the way they tweet, like, sometimes they're right on weird things, so it's like it's almost like they have sources. Like, it's a burner account clearly, and I always joke that it's Dave Solders, which it's not even a joke. I think it is him, but that's besides the point. So this tweet went bananas. This one did, and he's tweeted. Guys, keep in mind he's tweeted some crazy stuff. He's been right on some stuff. He's been wrong on some stuff. He's been tweeted some crazy stuff. So he tweeted, which after all this stuff had kind of unfolding, breaking Napier to be fired this Sunday, win or lose. Conversations are being held with top candidates: Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, via back channels. Lots going on behind the scenes in Gainesville. So that's funny. I wouldn't put any stock into it. Take it with what you will. It's fun it's like a fun little thing. However, However, Anand Naduri here, who is a Ohio State, he's got some kind of connection with Ohio State, and he former NFL bet GM, Prize Picks guys, like this is where he's worked, I guess. Anyways, he tweeted out, there are things going on behind the scenes in Gainesville. And then he even tweeted, like, if it's me, I'm firing Scott Strickland first. No clue. Like, he started doing his own thing. And he's just, again, he is just speaking on what he is hearing. So what does that even mean? I have no idea. But it is interesting for someone who's not even close to the program. Clearly, and he's an Ohio State guy. He's probably getting carryover from, and that kind of puts me into that category of like a Franklin situation, maybe, because of, the correlation between the two. But I don't know. A lot of interesting stuff. It's cryptic. Look, and somebody even said, like, what is this cryptic nonsense? And he goes, look, part of having sources is waiting for them to tell you when you have the right to release information. If you don't like that, feel free to unfollow. We fall into this category a lot, guys. Dave will text me stuff, and he's like, I'm like, can we talk about it? And I would say 9 out of 10 times I choose not to talk about things because I don't want to come out here and be like, trust me, dude. It just feels weird. Now there's some stuff that I don't like. If the severity of it, in my opinion, doesn't feel like it's that detrimental to something, I'm not a huge fan of talking about possible commits unless it's been talked about a handful of times. The last thing I want to do is be a guy that ruins a kid's commitment. And even the Napier, go ahead.
I would say this: the sources are usually about 60% right, 65% right, which is very good. Like in the day of gathering information and especially in college football, very good. If you're over 50%, hey, you're in the black. Okay, you're winning. And so it just like we definitely err on the side of the caution. We definitely could break stuff, but not our name of our game. I think we do it right. Hey, when it's already broken, you can't get it wrong.
Yeah, it's much easier. Again, I've never been in the business of breaking news. I just don't. That's a sticky area. It's tough. Like when these guys, some of the players got arrested and stuff, I waited a lot before we kind of did anything. So, Again, everybody is kind of on board here of him being gone. The tweets of there seems to be a sense of celebration happening with people that are following along in this situation. I've got Eddie, who started the Gator Collective. He tweeted out a picture of Marcus Freeman. He's somebody who's well connected. He's a big time booster. Again, he started the Gator Collective. So I'm following tweets. I'm trying to read tea leaves. Again, at the end of the day, these guys, they say what he even retweeted, him being Eddie, retweeted Graham Hall's tweet and said, love you, Graham, but this isn't news, at least the new part. And again, that's referring to the article about Napier not being here on Sunday. So these things travel fast, obviously, and everybody is basically confirming without confirming as politically correct way as they can. And so that's where, for me, like what I follow. Like obviously the people that don't have to follow the rules, like a hoop shiz, will come out and just say it. And so I'm always like hesitant when you see those things. Like they're fun. It's when you got the Graham Halls, the big time boosters, the Howls that will tweet it they're smart about how they announce it. And then it's coinciding with what I'm hearing, what I'm tweeting. And then it's like, okay, that's what I try to do. I try to piece the things that we know together. And look, like you said, about 67% of the time it's right. There is the factor though that people's minds change. Like that's what you have to always consider. And so I don't think that's going to happen here. I think that the way, and again, this is why I think that things get released on purpose, because they want to make sure that it's solidified. You don't, like Josh Pate doesn't find out and that Graham Hall doesn't write out about it unless you want it to be out there in main news of like, we want this to be as anchored as possible so they can't back out of it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's I don't think they're going to change their mind in the middle of the night, even if he scores 100. You don't let all this out and then kind of retract it and say, oh, whoa. maybe we were a little early on the take. You know what I mean?
Oh, they figured
People
it
do change
out.
your mind.
They're about to put
Yeah.
it popped finally.
Yeah, no, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. Offense popped.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
I think we've just seen enough, and some people might feel the same about me, like William Rollins. He's waiting for me to get fired, but sadly just signed a big fat extension. So
Who is?
William Rollins. He wants me gone from High Top. He said maybe
in the chat?
yeah, in the chat, yeah.
Do
But
see this guy's name?
people
This guy's
change
name
their
is
mind.
Cody Shelton. He's both of us.
He's two of us.
That's incredible. Where's the guy who wants you fired?
William Rollins.
I don't see him in the chat.
He's up.
What do you say?
Something about maybe Cody needs to move on if he can take it. Take
If
what?
you can't
The
take
dog?
it.
Yeah.
All right. $5. The Swolder is hoop shiz. Listen.
Could be.
Feels like it. Jeremy Hayden, $5 for your offering. Played on Sunday. God bless you both and your families. Christ is King. Jeremy, man, thank you so much. Oh, $20. Wow. Thank you, man. Much love, man.
God wills
Thank
it.
you so much. God bless, man. Appreciate you. $5 from Zero. With the Penn State job open, it accelerates Florida need to fire Billy sooner rather than later. I don't believe.
think Penn State got their guy.
Yeah.
We
He already
talked
did his
about that
welcoming
yesterday.
speech. Yeah, I don't believe that
I love
it
Penn
does.
State.
I thought it. Yes and no. I felt like it did too. But when we had Dan on, he brought up a good point of like these conversations are happening. Like it's not like Florida. You can have conversations with coaches before your coach is gone. So because it's not like the opening allows for us to place anybody in sooner than Penn State, or Penn State can't put anybody in. It's irrelevant. Like Penn State was probably having conversations before that, before the news went out.
Obviously, they're having conversations about the Nebraska program, what they thought about it. I mean, there's a lot of steak dinners been happening with Matt Rule and the AD.
He loves Penn State. It's his alma mater, man.
Yeah, I get it.
$5 for Sam. Hate to say it, but we're hearing the news is better than any game we've won this season. It does feel very strange. And look, I've thought about this too, because outside of Billy just ripping my heart out on the football field, I've never had any negative things to say about Billy. Some people obviously have a different feeling about it, about him in the situation, and that's fine. But I've got nothing but respect for the guy, and have had a great time following along. There is a sense of like, I want him gone. I'm ready to move on. Let's not get it twisted. But to have a sense, like I'm excited for the new part of it, right? Like I'm extremely excited to like, okay, like we finally, there's gonna be some growth, but it's all right. Like, look, I was concerned if we were to go 8-4, and it's like, man, this is gonna be a brutal offseason of like nobody's gonna be excited. Like it's just gonna be like twiddling our thumbs of just. It's a simply wait and see. Like nothing we hear is gonna, I can't buy in anything anymore because we don't know. So I'm really excited to see how we, navigate and going through this process. When I started this show, it was when Napier was hired. It was right in. We had this show and Mullen was still the coach, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I just was like kind of, along for the ride. And so when Napier got hired, like we just were like, hey, Napier's hired. Like this time is gonna be much different. We're gonna be navigating this thing and being, ear to the ground as much as we possibly can and talk about it and try to inform everyone with what's going on as best as possible. And then at that point, right, like, just the roster turnover that's going to happen and the hirings, like we know much more than we knew prior to. So a lot of fun things are going to be happening that were not on the table prior to, but there is a sense of excitement that we haven't had because we haven't, the games just don't carry any excitement. There's a weird feeling that I'm excited for Saturday of like, there's a sense of release. Like we get to go watch this game without any pressure.
And not care.
Yeah, like that's the weird part of like, because before, like I feel like I'm like we gotta win just so we can stop the negativity, or like lose so we can either move. Like you just know how to feel. Now it's like if what we're hearing is true, it's like let's go win this. Let's go win out now. Like I don't give a damn. Let's go win out and let's just go have some fun. And in the meantime, we can ruin some cat seasons, but also talk about what's to come. So now, could it get ugly from other things? Maybe, I don't know. But yes, it does feel like this news has definitely, lifted a weight off of us in the sense of like we can just kind of go and enjoy the football that we like to. But Am I gonna sit here and celebrate him being fired on Sunday? I don't know. I know we joke about the champagne and whatnot. I'm sure Dave will have some. I mean, there's plenty of people that will have some fun, but I'm gonna have more fun for the new coach. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I gotta get a new visor. I
gotta throw some things away. I gotta throw my Billy hoodie away. That's cooked. I've got a lot to think about from the spacesuit perspective. I think we've talked about that. You know, that was born in the Napier era, and you know, if I've already said this. If Lane is hired,
it definitely feels like a breakup.
Yeah, for sure. There's some things we've got to clean out the room. You know, make some adjustments. People love the spacesuit. I do too. It's more of a me thing than a Napier thing. But if we go to Lane, I will be retiring the spacesuit. I can confirm that because we will be moving to a train conductor. That is a 100% solid fact. And maybe there's a coach that comes in that has a thing that, you know, that makes them tick, and I find something about them. But we'll see. We're not gonna jump to conclusions just yet. Throw your vest jacket away, boys.
Yeah, we're not on Tinder yet.
Yeah, listen, I've already been looking up train conductor suits. Like if we, I'm
oh,
not
so
kidding.
you are on Tinder? Yeah, so you have been on Tinder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If we get Lane, I'm no joke. I'm getting a train thing installed like that hangs from the roof. Like I'm not kidding. Like we are going to fully send it if you know we get after it. Yeah,
I hadn't been on Tinder yet. Swiping right yet.
Sorry, it sucks to be you. Darian Boston, what's up, man? $5. Got to show my daily dose of love. Great show, fellas. Always a Gator. Hey, Darian, inside track. What's your thoughts on Will? Will stay? You got any inside scoop you could tell us on what he's hearing, or that's too much probably. Please keep the spacesuit. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't have any intentions to get rid of it, but if it's Lane, it's got to change.
The good thing about Will is if he does not choose Florida, not, you know, if he does not to choose Florida, it's not like Florida's his only option. He's gonna be great wherever.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm worried about us, not him. I think spot the ball t-shirts, those are also dead. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's true too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure if we get Lane Kiffin, there will be plenty of t-shirts.
There'll be plenty of t-shirts. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Because he be just saying stuff all the time at the podium.
So the other part of it too is like maybe, you know, Will may still want to come here, but the new coach may not want him. You know, those are so many things to consider. So, you know, we'll see. Imagine Kiffin and Gator Visor making jokes about Uga. It would be awesome. I mean, don't even.
Kirby fat the other day.
I know. Don't even get me started.
Need that.
I'd rather you keep the spacesuit than getting Lane. I love it. Oh, I love it. No, I want the spot the ball tee. Ironically, you know, there's now it's a throwback, right? Now it's one of those situations.
Yeah. 904 says, is it true that Strickland only hires yes men? I don't think Strickland's making this hire. I think there's some people saying, we're going to push you over here. We just need you to sign the paper saying, yes, it's happening. Like, this is happening.
Yeah, that's been back and forth from what we've seen of a discussion of who's going to make the next decision. I think that, personally, I think there may be some good that comes from this. And here's, again, this is another theory, okay? The boosters, all theories here, okay? Strickland had a lot of power over the last couple decisions, and I think that, you know, most boosters definitely wanted Napier gone last year. That's why we heard about the buyout situation. And Strickland was able to fight him off and got some leeway.
He's going to hire an OC.
If you will. Correct. And so I think that in a way that Strickland, the boosters kind of sided with him and allowed him to do his thing. And then, again, we had a great conversation with Dan of like, people kind of put Strickland into this light. And I don't think Strickland probably gets a little too much flack, to be quite honest with you, because in the same breath, he's been very supportive from a financial standpoint. He may have just been too buddy-buddy. So the boosters, in my opinion, have more leverage now, because if he pushes back, like, we gave you an opportunity and we're here now because of you. So maybe because we had to go backwards so far to be able to run forward. And maybe it may seem like it sucked, but maybe it was worth the 4 years if we can utilize that as leverage to a booster and somebody that has more of kind of that willpower and stronghold to put somebody in place that isn't just going to be buddy buddy with Strickland. And that's where the Lane situation, in my opinion, comes in. Because if Strickland has to just make the decision himself, he's not going with Lane from what we've heard. I'm not saying that he won't, but if it's just left up to him, Lane is not his first option. It's just like, again, the same breath of like where Napier wouldn't pick me to be on his football team. It's just how it is. So
yeah, I have to agree. Got to double down on that actually, because it does. Listen, and he's made some bad hires. So I think when it comes to this is the most important sport in all of college sports. Everybody knows that this is a money driver, and sometimes you got to have a little pizzazz. Not that we have a problem selling tickets or merch or anything like that, but the extra does go a little ways for fans. And Lane Kiffin has made it very clear there's an opening at him moving on from Ole Miss. Ole Miss fans may not see it, but he made the big comment this last weekend, said that our red zone offense, looked like our student section, which would never happen at the Swamp. Never. I mean, a 2-10 year, we're still selling that thing out. And people got to realize that UF is an upgrade over Ole Miss. You can Ole Miss. They can tell you everything you want to hear, but just in the financial accountability of us being able to sign them to more than a 4-year deal is a bigger step up than what Mississippi can do.
Hold on.
It's gone live. Could you imagine?
No.
Oh,
I know. I'm hoping Sunday when we're live, it goes live.
540 people hanging out with us. I'm sure most of you guys are in your work bathroom stalls right now listening to us. Hey, appreciate that.
I'm going to read something here in just a minute. That just came in our Discord. Just give me a second. But, what was I going to say? You said something that triggered my thought.
Good thought or bad thought?
It was good. So I've been getting a little criticized lately of me cutting you off. Rightfully so. But there's a reason. Sometimes I do it because my memory is atrocious. And when we're in the middle of these things, I forget. So I try to say it. It's not to be rude, but just so I don't forget.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, but I have been bad lately. Freak. What were you saying?
I was just saying that with Lane Kiffin, taking shots at the student fan base and what Mississippi can do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. So
contracts.
All right. The parity, the changing in head coaches too, I think may help for some craziness. That if it was just one job that was opening, how do I explain this? It's the FOMO. Because I think there's gonna be a lot of movement, which is also crazy to think when we talk about heading into this year. I was like, man, there's a lot of. I said it. I go, there could be an explosion this year because you've got a lot of coaches going into their 4th and 5th year that have to be ready to perform. Beamer was one, Hugh was one, Kelly was one, Pittman was one, Napier was one, Luke Fickell was one. Like James Franklin was not part of that list, but you add him to that list. My point of it is so many spots have now opened up, and now everyone's kind of looking around. And they're going to see maybe Matt Rule go out there and get a fatty contract and have a new position. And like, that looks kind of cool. And maybe Brian Kelly gets a new job. Maybe Jimbo Fisher comes back and it's like, yo, what's going on? I'm missing out.
Well, Matt Rule gets a new job. That means Nebraska's looking for another coach also.
My point of it is that like, I feel like there almost is an advantage or a help. Now, you have more competition that you're going up against, but the movement of this, I think, there could be a positive spin. There could be a negative, but there could be a positive too here. $5 or $2 from Darian says, I still feel like Bro is locked in. I would think so too. I imagine that he's just a Gator at heart, which I love. $5 from Synthetic Dividend. Lemon character lifting baby lemon in the air to congratulate him.
I think the only school that possibly would not bother me. I don't want to say bother me. The only school to fire a coach possibly, which we're not sure because of the buyout, if it's even going to happen, that we would have to go head to head on a coach for, I think is LSU. I think we're a better job than Auburn, recruiting wise. We're in one of the most talent rich states in the world. Great on some tax stuff for people making that kind of money. I think that LSU is the only program right now that has fired a coach where I say, whoa, if they were to fire Brian Kelly, I'd say, okay, now we really got to batten down the hatches and figure out who we want right now and jump on top of it. You got to move because they'll listen. They'll take Lane Kiffin out of spite. You know what I mean? And so I think that, which I have a little inside track on LSU. They really like Jimbo Fisher. They love Jimbo Fisher. They want Jimbo Fisher back when he coached at Texas A&M. I don't know what Jimbo Fisher's doing now, but that could be your shoe-in for the LSU job.
And you got to think, like, Mullen's success at UNLV, I think, gives a guy like a Jimbo a healthy rehabilitation of, hey, this isn't the same as like, people like, oh, what about Gruden? This isn't the same as Gruden. It's not the same as Gruden. This guy had major success in the college football era. Ed Ogeron, is he in the same category? He's in lower tier. I know he won a national championship, but that was kind of like, again, sometimes things just come to a head and work out perfectly. I'm not saying he didn't help with that, but Jimbo had, and you could argue honestly the same for him too, but I feel like he had more of a long tenure at the helm than Ed Ogeron did. So, and navigated around college football, recruited very well, all those things, and would be a really good fit at LSU, to be quite honest with you. So this is in our Discord here, boys. Somebody just dropped this little nugget, and I'll give you a little bits of it. But basically, these are the names that what they're hearing that boosters are a fan of. And then also, if Strickland was just doing this himself, which we just alluded to, our theory, if he was doing it himself, who he would just want. So the boosters, it's Lane and Freeman are kind of their 1A, 1B. And then there's Brent Key, Fish, John Summerall, and Rhett Lashley is kind of in that order. They don't want to get past 1B, them being the boosters. It's Marcus or Lane is kind of their thought process. The fact that we're in this conversation for these two is very exciting to me. I would be genuinely ecstatic for both. Obviously, on a personal level, for what we could do with Lane is more fun, in my opinion. Selfishly wise, from a content creation.
I don't think
Selfishly.
Okay.
If Lane Kiffin comes here, I just know that like what I could do from a content creation standpoint, and I genuinely feel like we could get him on the show. Like that's where. Because of who he is. And it would be like Feinbaum and Lane. Like, it'd be hilarious. If Marcus Freeman comes, I probably will never sniff the sidelines. Not that Lane will put him on the sideline, not like anybody put him on the sideline, but like the point of like, he's just such a stone cold killer. Like, it would be ran like a fortress, which I'm fine with. That's why I said selfishly. I just care about winning football games, but from a content point, I know that the Lane would be a blast. That's all that I know. And then Strickland's list, if he was hired alone, Freeman, W, Eli, Brent Key, or Rhett. And again, I don't hate Eli. I like the goober, personally.
Probably could get him on the show too.
That one's 50-50.
Flat Earth or whatever he wants to talk about, baby.
We could talk about all kinds of conspiracy theories, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
But yeah, selfishly, I like, I've always been a big train. I love trains. Like, I feel like we could just really have some fun.
I think, Swampwood, I saw him comment, what makes it Lane Kiffin? I think that, like the Packers drafting quarterbacks, okay, they kind of got a little, thing that they do. They figured out how they want to draft quarterbacks. Every coach at the University of Florida that has had success has been a little Lane-ish, a little juiced
edgy.
Up, edgy, not a yes man. And I think you have to go back to that. I think, the football gods are telling you, hey, it's worked twice. It almost worked with Mullen and during the COVID year. God dang, if we had a defense, we hoisted another natty. So it's one of those things where I think you got to. I think it's really the only guy unless he doesn't want to be here, which I've heard. I've also heard that his coach his daughter is put in for grad school at UF.
Look,
Obviously
none of that matters to me. None of that matters to me. It's a match made in heaven. It comes down to Big Dog will make it if he wants it.
Yep.
If the problem why you can't ask me if I was on the board and I'm at the table and they come to me like, so who are you thinking? I'm like, think of the shirts, okay?
Oh, for sure. The merch. Think of the merch.
Think of the merch. Think of every fan base wearing a conductor hat. Think of the 90,000 strong with a train horn. All right, the wooden train horn that you got when you were a kid, and we're just going. Grrr! You mean to tell me you don't want that? Come on!
I'm not saying
we might not lose a game.
Think of every. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Think of every Tuesday morning, just me, you, and Lane just sitting up here chopping it up.
We'll call it Train Tuesdays.
Yeah. Ooh, easy.
You see?
Your stepmom would love that. Your stepmommy loves that.
This is why again, selfishly. I just went 4 years through the most boring, melancholy
vanilla
coach. And I had a blast. I mean, look
vanilla with no
look
bean.
what I did with not even vanilla bean. We're talking about as vanilla as it comes, not even a sprinkle.
Not bluebell vanilla. That be hitting different. We're talking
yeah, the Publix
the plastic, the big plastic one that you buy for your kids. Yeah, with the red handle that you use for like flour and shit afterwards.
Yeah, for the big parties. You just get the big thing
nuts
of
and bolts. You use the container for nuts and bolts in the garage.
And we had a blast. All right?
If we can have fun with him.
We might have to keep the rocket ship just because.
Well, we got 2 other topics we haven't even touched on yet.
I know. Sorry. I apologize.
The lies that will be told, though.
Raising trains on High Top Sports. I mean, it'd be too much fun. I would be concerned that Lane would have so much fun that he may forget to coach. That could be a problem. That could be a genuine problem.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to be calling the plays.
True. Real quick, guys.
Even Lane Kiffin went and got no fee.
There's almost 600 people in here. I would really appreciate if you guys could smash the like button. That'd be highly appreciated.
And for people that don't know, I work nights, so people see me sitting here drinking beer. Just throwing that public service announcement out there.
Love to know. Love to let you guys know. Great conversation this morning. You can't beat it. These morning shows have been a blast. Also tomorrow, call-in show. So if you guys want to call in and chit chat about, maybe have a goodbye message, all those good things, come on.
Thursday already?
Yeah, we're cruising, big fella.
Today's the best day of the week.
It is the best day of the week. Yeah.
Golly.
We're cruising. Lanesville. Oh my gosh. I mean, talk about the merch.
Oh, we're definitely doing the Johnsonville Brat logo with Lanesville.
Oh, great call. Yeah, I'm going to, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm like, because we can't use his face, but I'm definitely getting the silhouette. Like, I've already got it in my head.
Why can't we use his face? We did the Billy one.
Yeah, but we weren't allowed to do that either. We break a lot of rules here.
Yeah. We live in the gray.
We live, across the gray. Yeah, for sure. The Heisman odds have moved, and I thought this was, I felt this was important. And the reason I felt like this was important was because we talked about the playoffs, which we're going to get into it here in just a bit, and about which team kind of fits the mold you look for in a playoff run. And we were all kind of on Bama again with Ty Simpson and how he's been playing. But who did I say, Coaster? Who was I high on of making a good run? Thanks for listening. It was Miami and Carson Beck. And I don't know, I don't remember where Carson Beck was a few weeks ago. But all of a sudden, he's in first place. Like, Dante Moore gets shuffled back, and Carson Beck
he hasn't even had, like, wild ESPN clips.
weird and didn't even play last week.
I feel like Ty maybe or the IU kid should be
Should be
1-2.
higher. Yeah. Look at it. And
Don't
makes
you?
the point. Lane Kiffin has a backup D2 quarterback in the Heisman running. That's besides the point.
Yeah, Trinidad. Yeah.
My point of it is I think they see the writing on the wall for Miami. That he's going to have a clean slate of a year, him being Carson Beck. And I really think he's found a really good home, and this is why I felt Miami has a really. I mean, they fit the mold. If you go look at championship caliber teams, good defense, good trenches, and then just solid quarterback play. And I find it funny that I said that literally yesterday, and here he is lead. If you were to end the season today, he should not win the Heisman. Ty Simpson should, personally.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Gunnar Stockton being up there feels a bit much to me. CJ Carr should be higher, but.
I'm gonna say this, and chat, please don't flame me. Apparently, I'm a little soft today. I'm in my feels. Good on Carson Beck to find a spot that wanted him,
This guy's such
and that he loves football again, because that guy looked like DJ Lagway week 2 and 3 on the sidelines at Georgia. Like he looked glazed over and like he did not want to be there.
Agreed. I mean, look, we love to kind of troll and have all fun with it, but yeah, kudos to him. I mean, he was great 2 years ago. I mean, I felt like he should have been invited to
Electric.
New York, and that's why he was my number one quarterback going into that last year. And I mean, had good times, but look, I'm still my verdict's still out. I still have my questions about Carson, but again, right now, I'm picking Ty Simpson. If I have to go pick a guy to go run my team right now today, I'm taking Ty Simpson. Even
Yeah.
it probably would be Ty, Fernando, then Carson, just because of the history that Carson has had of crumbling in the big ones. So until he shows me, and I'm hopeful we'll see that. I still like those two guys at this very moment.
Don't sleep on the Ohio State quarterback, because they usually get rolling about this time of year, and when they do, watch out. They're deadly if they have a year like last year. And Julian Saint can definitely hop right up on the rankings. Still a very young guy, but when you have all those Ferraris to throw to, they just make you look good. You know what I mean?
Think about this. Right now, there are 3 quarterbacks in the system that are doing the damn thing across the league. All once were Bama quarterbacks. Ty Simpson is still the Bama quarterback. Julian Saint was a Bama quarterback. And Eli Holston, who plays for Pittsburgh, who just took down FSU, was once a Bama quarterback. So kind of crazy to see the talent those boys just.
Embarrassment of riches, almost.
Golly, man. And look, this is 5 years ago. All 3 of them are still out of Alabama, and you're just waiting. We're just going through that process. I don't think Jeremiah Smith or Julian Saint win it this year. I don't think there's enough. I think that the teams in front of them have more opportunities have had more opportunities to solidify themselves. Again, Carson Beck really has to ball out. Ty Simpson has a plethora of games to separate himself from this pack. But he also has a plethora of games that could bury him in this pack as well, too. So that's just good.
I just said OSU because of the, they could really turn it on and he could throw for legit 400 or 500 yards a game, and it just explode. You know what I mean? They're on offense. They're close to being dangerous.
Who?
And when it pops, watch out. Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. They're not far from being something special.
I mean, just talent wise, you have Jeremiah Smith pop off one game, then you have the next guy, then you have the next guy. I mean, it just keep an eye out for him.
Last bit, and then Austin has a great question that I'm going to get into about Napier here. Again, there's 500 people. I mean, much love if you guys don't hit the heart. You got to back out, hit the like button. It lets YouTube know that you guys are enjoying it. You guys have really enjoyed these morning shows, which are much appreciated. To have 500 people here on a morning show. Listen, the reason why we're able to do this right now is Cody obviously likes to drink in the morning, so he just wants to wake up to have his morning beer. And secondly, I'm on parental leave, and so maybe we'll have this, but I've talked to the wife. I was like, these shows are kind of, people are enjoying them, and I enjoy them thoroughly, and so we might have to figure these things out. I think Cody will be okay with continuing to drink, but I've got to figure it out. We talked about our playoffs on Monday. You, Ty, and I, we went over who we felt, who are we picking? Who's our team we're going with right now? And that's why I said Miami, right? And it felt weird. So Josh Pay updated his playoff prediction. I'm just not a big guy to do that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my fandom gets in the way, and I know that. So it's like I know that I can't give you a true, genuine list and feel confident about it. And maybe that's just, me being a little baby, but it is what it is. And going to see what he had to what he has now, it's crazy to think that, like, again, Texas Tech, who I was high on, I wish that I wouldn't have been such a pansy about it. I felt that they were going to be in the playoffs this year. I mean, everything, but again, in the same breath, Penn State felt
I'm not
the same
going to
way.
call you a pansy. I think you were reserved because we've seen teams spend a bunch of money and not do anything and be flat.
I think I have enough historical data for not jumping
You were
on
in
that
show
train.
me. Yeah, you were in show me mode.
And I feel like
and
I
think that's what we said.
Penn State and Clemson I was all in because, in my opinion, they've had the data to show that he should be better, and obviously that was a complete bust. But these are the chances of making the playoffs, and that's the thing. That's the hard part, right? We talked about it of like, okay, who's the team that we picked? Well, there are teams that we thought that were going to be here, like a Penn State and a Clemson and a Texas. I don't think Texas makes it. That are not going to be there. Right? So now you're going to have a 12-team playoff that consists of, you see it, Ohio State, Indiana, more than likely Bama, 100% Miami, 100% Texas A&M. Georgia's I'm not sold on Georgia personally.
Hey, we've been saying it for 3 years now. It's starting to catch up to them. We've been complaining about the slow starts. And it's starting to catch up to them.
Their whole season's starting slow. Oregon's in. Ole Miss, I mean, that one's a 50-50, again, just because of the remaining schedule. I think Notre Dame genuinely has a much better chance than some of these teams in front of them to get into it. But the point of it is that, like, you can see who has the best odds of making it. And this is where I said, it's like, well, once you make it, who's going to have a run? Who's going to figure it out? And that's where you took Ohio State of, like, man, when you're looking around, there's a lot of new faces here, boys. A lot of new coaches in this world that are going to, be cutting their teeth for the first time, that you just don't know what to expect. You really don't. And in Texas Tech, their schedule got a little bit more daunting here at the end. Some teams that play, from the Big 12 are getting ranked. But are they going to be as battle-tested as some of these teams and be able to really, be ready to rock and roll? I think, again, Ohio State had some tough games at the end of the stretch last year. If an SEC team makes it, are they going to be too battle worn? I don't know. It's just it's wild. And I made this claim that we're not gonna have a team undefeated ever again. I feel like my words might be eaten here, because there's a world
over and under worse than the Billy Napier scores 21 points on his worst day take.
No, I don't think. I think it's less. It's not as bad as that, because, I guess if it happens the second year. And the reason I say that is Ohio State, Indiana, Miami, and A&M are all 4 teams that can make it, and I believe go undefeated. Right?
Wow.
And so now, when you've got 4 of the 12 teams that are in there undefeated, there's also a Georgia Tech team that nobody's talking about that's not on this list, that's still undefeated, but they're going to have to play Miami more than likely, so one of those teams will lose.
Texas Tech is undefeated, I believe, also still.
Okay, so there you go. You're right. So there's 5 teams. So almost half of the teams
Ole Miss is undefeated.
6 teams. So 50% of the teams can go in there
Memphis
undefeated.
is undefeated.
I'm not worried about Memphis. Well, I guess if they make it, you have 7 teams that are undefeated, and now
21 points, baby.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. And I didn't. It's the
Shelton's
Big Ten's,
wobbly.
It's the Big Ten's fault. It's the Big Ten's fault, because so A&M and Ole Miss won't be undefeated because they will play each other. They'll play each other. Yeah. And I guess technically Indiana and Ohio State. So we will have one less. So maybe it won't be as bad. Maybe we'll get down to that 4. That 4. But still, definitely worrisome there.
I'm still convinced Miami will drop to somebody in the ACC. Like, it just we haven't seen a Cristobal meltdown yet, and he's good for 1 or 2 every year.
Austin says, if Napier would hire an OC this offseason and goes completely hands off, would you want one more year? No. And the reason I say that is because
he had that chance last year.
Yeah,
my stop cheating on me.
My thought process is that 100%. You had an opportunity to make a change. I was all in, completely supported you.
Yeah.
You want him to be a COO or a GM. He doesn't want to be that. So he
He
wouldn't
wants to
do
be a play
that.
caller.
He wouldn't do that. They're like these makeshift thoughts, they're fun, but they're just not realistic of, because the thing is that he still will be the final say. If he's on the sideline, his management, and again, like when we have too many guys on the football field, that falls back on him from not, I don't know what, whether it's accountability or not paying attention to it. He would still resort to wanting to, be the smartest guy in the room and go for it on weird times and not go for it on weird times. It would still be a factor. It's not necessarily like, hey, some guy would just come in and play, call plays and completely fix it. I don't think it's at that point anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the bridge is already burnt. It'd be like being married to somebody with a gambling problem, and they told you they're gonna fix it. We're not gambling anymore, but like every 6 months you miss your mortgage payment because she took the check to the casino and placed it all on red and didn't hit, or hit and then gambled it all away again. So it's like, we've seen enough in this relationship. Billy, thank you for the good times. But it's time to go.
I will say, I do think that he will be, I don't want to say a hot commodity, but I think that he'll land on his feet just fine. I think there is a handful of schools that will be like, hey, we'll take you in a heartbeat, dude. Like, and obviously any, like, James Franklin is in that same category, but a UNC would love Napier right now. A Virginia or a Virginia Tech would love Napier right now. UCLA. I mean, there's schools where, like, I really see where Napier could.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and Oklahoma State. Not necessarily. I don't know how he could bode in that league with those offenses, but look, he's done a lot of it right, and maybe that him getting canned, it's gonna maybe help with negotiations, and maybe they force him to do that hand. He's just not meant to be in this world anymore. That doesn't mean he doesn't have success in another world at all. Like, I've always felt that, like, if he doesn't work out, he's gonna be a target. Like, will he want to go? Probably. He's young. I don't think he wants to walk away from it.
Oh my God, Rob S.
What'd he say?
But if she has a gambling problem and she's hot and great in bed? Question mark. I see
Napier,
you're a lover of toxic relationships also.
Yeah, I think he could easily go to one of those schools for sure. But I still
UAB
think that that's no question. I was more so alluding to, like, I believe that he definitely has a spot in more of a higher caliber, even still. Like, Florida, again, we have to, as Florida fans, we're the top of the mountain.
He may just go back to Louisiana.
He could easily do that. It's very similar to how Austin Armstrong went to Houston and had success immediately. Immediately. He just was like, hey, I jumped too high. I got to get some things figured out. And so goes to Houston and immediately has success. Like, he could go and coach Houston and have success. Like, that's what my point.
Yeah.
Very easily. Like, obviously, how Mullen's gone to UNLV.
Tulane's going to have a job offering.
Tulane, you do well there. That's in Louisiana.
Yep. That's kind of in between, too. That's like a partial step.
That's a sweet spot. That's a UNLV.
Yeah.
That's like
UAB
is lower. Yeah. That's like USF, right? Like you can still taste it. You can still come after it. Like, you got an opportunity.
Yeah. You can beat a SEC team like once a year because you're going to play Old Miss once a year.
And recircle the wagon for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done enough, in my opinion. And again, I think that the way that he's being let go, I think it's all it speaks more volumes to who he is as a coach and as a person. And I wish him nothing but the best. And that
sometimes
watch him still be here next year. We're talking like we're gonna look back at this like, what idiots. But yeah,
sometimes the best thing in your life is a good firing, like a good solid firing.
The best job.
You can look back on and say, yeah, yeah, I kind of was an asshole. Yeah, I kind of did get a little complacent there. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I probably should have actually gave it over to a real OC.
It's the next job's always the best job. You know.
Yep.
All right, boys. Hang on real quick. I was worried for a second.
Colton, we kind of got a little lag, so it's kind of hard if I've interrupted him. We do it back and forth.
No,
all the
I
time.
interrupt Cody. It's not the other way around. All right, boys. Well, hold on. Y'all be good. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be live tonight at 8:35 for the best day of the week. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Y'all be good, be safe. Cody the Prof, Shelton, your boy. Y'all be good. Peace and love, baby.
It's Hot Top Sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's Hot Top Sports, baby. Let's get it, let's go.